All right. If you can see me, you can hear me. Go ahead and let me know so I know. Also, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that we know who it is if you comment. Come on and join me here. Don't leave me hanging. Facebook world, come on, come on. I just wanted to hop on here and discuss some forbearance and loan modification stuff. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jeff, and I'm with People First Real Estate Advisors. And one of my specialties, something I really focus on, is foreclosures. Yes, they are still happening; they never stopped, and there's some really great options out there for homeowners. So I really wanted to just touch base on it. Let me go ahead and change this screen here. Hopefully, you can see my screen. So today I'm going to focus on the conventional side. So, Fannie Mae has some programs in place to help people that were on forbearance or, they've had some affordability issues since COVID. It's part of the CARES Act and probably part of some other later legislation as well. So one of those is the Fannie Mae Flex Loan Mod. There's a similar program for FHA. I'm not going to get into that here. It's just something I really focus on. I think, I really want to help people in these situations. People either they feel lost and like they're not getting the help they need, so they just bury their head in the sand, or they just aren't getting anywhere with the bank. So I've really had some really good luck with just talking to homeowners, mediating with the bank, and coming up with some solutions. And sometimes I buy houses, but a lot of times with these people, I just help them get through to the bank and work out some alternatives. So one of those I hope to see a lot of here coming soon is a Flex Loan Mod. So let's go ahead and get into it. You can see them on Fannie Mae's website. It's pretty easy to navigate. You can search the guides. And, this is all public information that's out there. And I just want to kind of touch base on some of this so that that it's not, a lot of people will talk about what's going on out there, but they never back it up with fact. They just talk about it and, have a lot of opinion. So here you can go out to Fannie Mae and search yourself. And you can see here determining eligibility. One thing that surprised me was that it apparently can be vacant or condemned, which I'm kind of shocked at, honestly. Not saying it's a bad thing. I don't really have much of an opinion on that, but I'm really surprised that they're allowing that because traditionally with loan modifications, if you vacated the home, most of the time they're not going to offer you a loan modification if you're not actively living in the home. And that's just a general rule of thumb. So some of these other things, determining the Fannie Mae Flex Loan Modification terms. So something really interesting is, one, it's going to be a fixed rate. So that's really great. If you do happen to have an adjustable rate, they're going to adjust it to a fixed rate. And they also go 480 months from the mortgage loan modification effective date. So they're not going 40 years. Yes, 40. That's a long time. They're not going 40 years from your original loan origination. They're re-amortizing 40 years out from the day your loan mod is finalized. So your payment can really get lowered. The downside of that is that the interest you pay is going to be a whole lot more over that time frame if you take all that time to pay it back. But you can also always accelerate your payments when you get in a better position. And, it's probably a good idea if you do, uh, depending on what the interest rate is and what that cost is. But something I want to touch on in regards to that that's really important that's going on. You probably already know that loan rates are rising. Well, they also set guidelines for what the flex loan mod uh, interest rate is going to be as well. So you can see the trend here. This is very significant. Like in August of 2021, the flex loan mod was sitting at 2.875%. That is an amazing rate. And really, in my opinion, anywhere in the threes, people will complain about say a 3.75. Like, well, why didn't you refinance? You could have gotten 3.1. It's like, well, it's really just not a big deal in my mind. Being in the threes is just you're hedging against inflation. You're ahead of the curve, so that's good. That's my opinion on it anyway. Now you can see here we went from 2.875 up to 3.125. So we went into the threes. And now here we are heading into April, and it's up in the fours already. And that's just an absolutely astronomical jump. In terms of lending, going from 2.875 to 4.375 is it's a rocket. It really is. So something to really keep in mind is as we come out of forbearance, there's still people on forbearance. As you really want to get ahead of it and deal with it before you're out of forbearance, because this flex loan mod, it's only applying coming out of that hardship. If you come off forbearance, say your forbearance agreement ends and there's no more available to you, and you just start becoming late on payments, well, now you're no longer applicable to getting this Fannie Mae flex loan mod. And again, this particular one is only for conventional loans. You really want to get ahead of it before the forbearance ends and get your options in, because otherwise you're looking at having to go through another hardship and going through the traditional route, which, by the way, there's some people out there that they will recommend you don't make payments so that you can display a hardship and start working with the bank on alternatives. I personally will never, ever, 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 ever recommend that. I just think it's a poor practice. It can really go south. And I think other alternatives need to be explored before that. But yeah, that's mostly what I wanted to get on here for. Now, for the investors that are on here, there's a big knowledge gap here. And, I really kind of nerd out on this stuff. It's an area that I really focus on. I love it. I love being able to help people in a way that others can't. And in this tough situation when their back's kind of up against the wall. And I've really had great success with it. So it's really good for you as an investor to approach people that they're in foreclosure. And let's say you're a house buyer. Instead of just saying, hey, I'll buy your house. I always like to lead with value and say, hey, what's going on? All right, let's see what we can do. What options are available? Here's all the options. Here's the ones that I think are most viable. Which one sounds good to you? And a lot of times those options are just getting a loan mod. And I'm more than happy to help them with that. I also will do short sales and some other things. So there's a lot of different ways to tackle foreclosures. I'm not going to get into them all here, but very, very important. If you take anything away from this, if you're dealing with anybody in a forbearance, if you yourself are in a forbearance, if you think your hardship's going to continue and you can't continue with your original payment, then you really need to get on the ball, stay in contact with your lender, and ask them what they can do, what they're willing to do, and what options are available. Get ahead of it, because you're only digging yourself a hole if you don't. Feel free to give me an email. You can email me here at jeff@peoplefirstrea.com. And if you need any help, whether you're a homeowner, you're an investor, just shoot me a message and I'll be more than happy to help where I can. If I can't directly help you, then I will be more than happy to just get you in contact with someone else that's more knowledgeable in whatever area you have. So yeah, let me know if you need anything, and I'll talk to you later.